Hello to everyone who's watching. My name is Megan Wall. I just wanted to take a little bit of time to discuss some of the things I learned about living abroad. I spent 2 months living in Cambodia with an organization called YWAM, and there are just some really amazing things I learned from being immersed in that culture. And the first that I just want to point out is that being bold can be super rewarding. Right upon arriving in Cambodia with my team, we were bombarded by tuk-tuk drivers of all kinds, and once we selected those, we pulled out onto the craziest street I've ever seen. There were motorcycles, cars, buses, just pedal bikes weaving in between one another, no road signs, no speed limits, no lanes, no organization, and I just was petrified, total culture shock. And then come to find out the next day that we would be driving or riding our own bikes every single day on these roads. So it was really terrifying, but our team jumped in with boldness and we got really comfortable with the area, and also we had amazing physical exercise every single day in a super hot climate, and I was the healthiest I've probably ever been because of those 2 months. Another thing I learned living abroad that I'll talk about just very briefly is that trying new foods that may sound odd or weird to you can actually be very surprising. I stayed in the countryside of Cambodia in a little village for a week, and there I was able to try a frog leg for the very first time, and while I was hesitant, I was surprised to find out that it tasted like fishy chicken. Another thing that I learned living in Cambodia is that my joy is often way more dependent on my comfort or on situational factors than I really want it to be. And if you know anything about Cambodia, you know it's super hot. I am talking crazy humidity on top of 110 degrees. I just had to get used to sweating all the time, being super uncomfortable, and I just found myself to be grumpier than I should have been. And it really just opened my eyes to the fact that I hadn't been putting my joy in what my rock was and what I knew was my foundation, and that for me is my relationship with Jesus. And I just was really allowing my joy to be determined by how comfortable I was. This season opened my eyes to that in a really powerful way. One of the most life-changing things I learned living in Cambodia is that although loving well isn't always convenient, it really is absolutely life-changing. And this was shown to me, again, referring to the village that my team and I spent a week in the countryside. We stayed with a pastor and his family who opened up their home to us, all 12 of us, and this is something they do on the weekly, on the monthly, constantly opening their home, providing food, giving us the nicest place in their home to sleep. And while this isn't necessarily convenient for them or their life, it is something that is just changing so many lives. It's showing them how to live with generosity and the impact that has. We were able to go around to neighboring homes all around the village and just talk about the love of Jesus. And to this family and to this pastor, that was worth every inconvenience in the world. And that was a really amazing lesson that I learned living there, that loving well isn't always easy, but it's so, so important. So I just want to end today's video with one final thought, and that is that I have learned that strength comes from being intentional and that it comes from being relational. I am from America, obviously, which is a very individualistic culture, and I feel that often teaches people to view the world as very egocentric. How am I going to attain financial security? How am I going to reach my dreams? How am I going to take care of my needs? And living in a collectivistic culture just really opened my eyes to the power of community, and I was able to do everyday life with a group of people, to worship, to eat, to come together and just work hard and serve the community together. And doing so was just really powerful and showed the value of seeing other people and taking moments of intentionality to serve, to love, to listen to other people, and it just really transforms the way that you look at the world. Well, all that to say, there's just really so much that we can learn from other cultures, and I'm so thankful for the time that I had in Cambodia with so many amazing people. If you have the opportunity to travel to Cambodia or to live there or to go somewhere else in the world, I really advise doing that. There's just such value in stepping out of your comfort zone and what you've always known. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to the video today, and I hope you have a good day.